It's Dean Martin's living room, and the time is now. Enjoy.
Everybody loves somebody sometime. Everybody falls in love sometime. Something in your kiss just... How long I've been on? It's good to be here. I can't really tell you where I've been, but I want to thank Geraldo Rivera and the Fox Network for locating me. Well, I was born June 7th, 1917, Dino Paul Crescetti. By the time you were 12 years old, you were expected to hold up a candy store, steal a car, break somebody's bones, and pee all over the front steps of the police station. And it was even tougher if you were a boy. My dad was a barber, and he only spoke Italian. Half my childhood, that's all that was spoken around the house. I still remember my first words in English. I was 5 years old. I said, "Dad, how old you have to be to get a drink around here? You'll never be president if you keep mispronouncing words, using the wrong grammar, and constantly mangling the English language." Boy, was she wrong. So I'm going to tell you my story. I'm going to talk about everything you ever wanted to know about this man that I invented, Dean Martin. Now, back then, I sounded a little bit like one of my idols, Bing Crosby, but only if he had been born in Naples, Italy. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. And I know that there are a whole lot of people here that probably weren't around when that song came out back in 1953. Maybe two of you. A few years before that Amore, I was doing a variety show in New York. And the comedian on the bill was a skinny 20-year-old kid named Joseph Levitch. It'll all be in the book. So I get there, and there's this same skinny kid with the bad mime calling himself Jerry Lewis, and he's talking to the owner of the club, and he was telling him how funny we both were. "How does Martin and Lewis sound to you?" I said, "Well, it sounds a whole lot better than Crescetti and Levitch." The success of Martin and Lewis took all the pressure off of my singing career, and now I really didn't give a rat's ass. And as soon as I didn't care if I ever made another record, I started to have hits. I'll show you what I mean. See if you remember this one. I sure hope I do.
Sweet, sweet memories you gave me. You can be the memories you gave me.
Take
sweet, sweet
one fresh and tender kiss.
The memories you gave me.
Add one story, not a bliss. You know the one thing about working with Ed, his introductions were so bad that anything that followed it in comparison, it just had to be great. How else can you explain Pat Boone? You know, I shook hands one time with Pat Boone, and my entire right side sobered up. Now, along the way, I managed to hook up with my longest running marriage partner, Jeannie. Oh, my wife, Jeannie. I'll never forget the day she surprised me. She had a phone installed in my car, and then she got very angry about it because she called me at 3 o'clock in the morning, and my secretary answered the phone. Jerry also took up golf, but we hardly ever played with each other. I mean, would you play with a guy who yelled, threw clubs, and then even tried to cheat? Well, neither would Jerry. I found someone who could put up with me. I got to do one for Jeannie. Return to me. Oh, my dear, I'm so lonely. It's tough to have a partner who knows everything. You married guys know what I'm talking about. But I'm sure I heard a phone ring. Those short naps are great as you get older, aren't they? Hello? Yep, this is Mr. Martin. Frank Sinatra. Yes, operator, I'll accept the charges. Some of the guys in the pack. That's another thing. The name, the Rat Pack. I don't remember who came up with it, but before that it was called the Clan, and that's with a C. And that, I'm willing to tell you about Dino Jr. Oh, he had everything going for him. He was tall, good-looking, talented, educated, something I'm not. Hello, God. Well, I'm just finishing up. Yeah, a couple of minutes, and oh, they're wonderful. Good, yes. I'll tell them you said hello. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, George Burns says hello. You're not drunk if you can lie on the floor without holding on. When you're drinking, say when you're drinking, this show, it looks good too. Thank you. Good. Thank you very much. Thank you.
The show was great. The jokes were great. It was funny. The dialogue was just as if Dean were standing there.
It was wonderful. He was masterful. Even his hand movements, his little finger on his chest, his singing. He just really had him cold.
As one writer to another, I hate Whitey Mitchell. That's the best script I've ever heard and seen, and it was magnificently done by Dave. It was just really, really good.
Well, I think that was probably one of the best one-man shows I've ever seen. I just think Whitey did a fantastic job, and Dave was just phenomenal.
I thought the show was absolutely outstanding. I've always been a huge fan of Dean Martin's, and I had no idea that anyone could make you feel like you were just right there with him. And that's how I felt the entire time.
Where's this guy been hiding? It's like, it's almost scary. That's the only word I could think of. It's almost scary. Too real.
Oh, this show is great. They should take this to Vegas live, and they should even think about making a movie out of this. This was a fabulous show for anyone who's ever heard of Dean Martin. This was the greatest show.
It was great fun. I mean, sitting around with Dino in his living room for a couple hours, how could it not be?